Modern depictions of hell usually rely on flames and pitchforks, yet the earliest versions functioned without fire, torture, or even the concept of punishment. For early human civilization, the underworld was simply the inevitable, inescapable default for every single person who died. Around 3000 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians called this place Kur. Clay tablets describe it as a house of dust, where the dead ate clay and wore feathers like birds. Kings and slaves inhabited the same dark rooms, sharing the same joyless existence. Sumerian death stripped away all earthly legacy. The deepest fear in the ancient Near East was this total erasure, a featureless continuation where even a great king's name eventually dissolved into the dust. We see the mechanics of this realm in the myth of the descent of Inanna. To reach the throne room of the dead, the goddess Inanna must pass through 7 distinct gates. At every gate, a guardian demands a piece of her royal identity. First her crown, then her necklace, breastplate, and garments. This forced stripping physically enforces the equality of the dead. Even a goddess arrives bare, looking identical to everyone else in the dust. The 7 gates maintained a world of absolute, unmoving neutrality. But as human cities expanded and social classes became more complex, the architecture of the dead began to change to reflect a different kind of order. In Egypt, the underworld evolved into an active, dangerous obstacle course. The dead had to navigate a mapped territory known as the Duat. Passage now required active proof of morality. The deceased used specific spells to bypass terrifying monsters, including giant serpents and crocodiles that guarded the path. This journey culminated in the weighing of the heart ceremony. The deceased's heart was placed on a scale against the feather of Ma'at. A heart weighted with sin tipped the scale, signaling the demon Amit to devour it, erasing the soul from existence forever. For the first time in recorded history, your ethical behavior on Earth directly dictated your eternal existence. By the classical era, Greek and Roman societies organized the underworld into a highly compartmentalized system. Hades became a sprawling, tiered subterranean city. Borders were managed by bureaucratic guards. Charon the ferryman collected fees, while the 3-headed hound Cerberus ensured that once a soul entered, it remained trapped. Inside, the map split into distinct moral districts. Average lives went to the neutral Asphodel Meadows. Heroes reached the eternal spring of Elysium. And for the wicked, the Greeks built Tartarus, a heavily fortified prison far below the earth. Inside Tartarus, punishments were tailored to individual crimes. Sisyphus, who had deceived the gods to cheat death, was condemned to push a boulder up a hill for eternity, only to watch it roll back down every time he reached the summit. Hell had become an intricate penal colony, mirroring the complex laws and punishments of the empires above ground. Why did humanity spend thousands of years engineering such an inescapable prison system beneath the earth? The Roman philosopher and statesman Cicero recognized the utility of religious terror. He understood that these myths served a vital function for the state. Cicero argued that believing in an all-seeing, judging afterlife was an efficient psychological tool. It kept massive populations in order by convincing them that their actions were being watched, even in private. Physical prisons and human laws can be evaded in the dark. To maintain order, leaders needed a deterrent that followed the citizen everywhere, reaching where no human guard could follow. The Sumerian gates established that death stripped away all earthly power. The Egyptian trial established that a divine judge watched every deed, and the Greco-Roman districts proved that every crime would receive its perfectly tailored consequence. Humanity engineered the afterlife to serve as the ultimate extension of the law. By mapping every sin to an eternal cell, civilizations created a prison that no one could escape, ensuring order remained long after the living left the room.